Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Payara webinar, which is all going to be about AI tools for Jakarta EE. So very, very exciting topic today. I am seeing people joining us right now. So as usual, we're going to give it another minute or so to make sure that everyone joined, because some of you might have just received some notification to remind you about this webinar. So we'll give you a minute or two to set everything up. So if you still need to grab a drink, it is definitely very hot where we are right now. I think for both me and Gareth, although we are in different locations, but yeah, so a drink is definitely needed here. So get yourself ready. This is a webinar that is a lot of it will be demoing, which is what most of us like most for those hands-on demo heavy webinars. So you will see some AI tools for Jakarta EE actually in action. So not just slides, but some demos as well. And some of you might have seen Gaurav perhaps doing a similar talk at one of the conferences earlier this year. But for those of you that couldn't make it to any of the face-to-face events, we are here for you in the virtual space to deliver this demo as well. So just a little bit of logistics, the usual really housekeeping. If you've been to our webinars before, you probably know the drill, but we very much encourage everyone to take part in the conversation in the chat. So you should have access to the chat on the right-hand side. You can post any questions or any comments, any feedback in the chat. And we will get to your questions towards the end of the demo. You can also use the Q&A option. Either is fine, whichever is easier for you. So we will be monitoring and we will hopefully get to your questions at the end of the demo. And we are also recording this. So if you have to leave early or if you want to share it with any of your colleagues after the live broadcast, then you can use exactly the same link to come back to the video and watch it pretty much straight after we finish. And I also posted a link to another event in the chat, which I will talk a little bit more about at the end. But if you want to check it out after the webinar, then please do. We have recently announced our next virtual Payara conference again. So, okay, so I think we are good to go. So without further ado, I will leave you with Gaurav Gupta and his AI tools for Jakarta EE presentation and demo. Over to you, Gaurav.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gaurav Gupta, and today I'm excited to share how AI tools are making Jakarta development faster and easier. We will look today at how AI is helping developer build application quickly and more efficiently. Let's get started. I'm Gaurav Gupta. I'm senior software engineer at Paras Services, and I'm also Apache NetBeans committer and team member of NetBeans. And I'm also creator of JEDIC Tools, which is Jakarta Application Development Platform, and also AI assistant tool for Apache NetBeans. So today I will show you how to create sample application uh, using AI tools, and we will look at two main tools. One is Para Starter and other is Predict AI Assistant that make development easier from kick-starting a project to getting smart code suggestion. So let's start by looking at traditional development tools that many Jakarta developers have relied on for years. So we have project generators, archetype that helps us quickly scaffolding application, but these are usually limited to predefined templates that requires a lot of customization for specific project needs. Then there are visual designers. While they let us create DB schema or UI layout, they lack contextual awareness. So every component placement in Visual Designer is purely manual. ID auto completions has been incredibly helpful for developers. but it's limited to basic syntax suggestion. It doesn't understand the full context of what we are building, and which means it cannot help with complex or high level suggestion in ID. And finally, we have manual test cases and documentation. And writing these test cases or documentation by hand is often time consuming. So it's a process that's essential but tends to eat up a lot of development time. So while these tools and process have been beneficial, but they come with uh, clear limitation in terms of speed, adaptability, and context. This is where AI powered tools are starting to transform our development workflow. Now let's have a look at how AI powered tools are addressing these limitations and to truly reshaping Jakarta development. So project generator can use LLM and become adaptive generator to decide bootstrap icon, titles, description of web components, and it can generate text details for static and dynamic pages. Uh, Visual designer with AI-driven approach become context-aware designer and can be operated with natural language command. LLM can auto-design the application based on the context awareness of existing design. Traditional archetype Traditional archetypes are placed with natural language command. We can just describe what we need, and the AI tools can generate the code. Imagine saying, create a REST endpoint for customer data and having a REST endpoint automatically uh, scaffolding for you. AI-driven test and documentation generation automates generating relevant test and comprehensive documentation based on code context, ensuring accuracy, saving us considerable time. AI-driven code completion goes beyond syntax suggestion uh, by understanding the entire project context with AI-driven code completion. This means smarter, more relevant code suggestion that helps us writing cleaner and more efficient code faster. Overall, AI tool enable us to work smarter, not harder, and handling repetitive and tedious tasks so we can focus on building and innovating. This is what I will be demonstrating with tools we have incorporated into Jakarta development space, including ParaStarter and Predict AI Assistant. So, these are two tools. First one is ParaStarter, which you can use to create Jakarta application, and it supports designing the ER diagram in the starter. So you just type your requirement, what application you want to create, and it's gonna show you the ER diagram based on your requirement, and you can further modify it uh, using LLM, right? And generate the Jakarta application based on your design. And the second one is AI assistant, which you can use to further extend your application in the IDE. Uh, so it provides a real-time inline code suggestion, SQL completion, context-aware database interactions, and and the chat directly in the IDE. So you can extend your project. So I will demonstrate the para starter first, and I will create application. Uh, So you need to visit start.para.fish to access the para starter, and then once you will visit, you will get options here to decide the build system of your application. I have option Maven and Gradle. I will select Maven, and I will go with the default group ID and artifact ID. You can just change based on your requirement. Then you have options for Jakarta EE version and profiles. You can select para, server, or micro. Then you can define the project packaging, and you can select JDK, and you want to generate test cases, those settings. And you can also select microprofile uh, specifications for samples. Deployment, you can select Docker or ParaCloud. And in the ER diagram designer, you have options to design uh, the application here, right? So here many options, samples are available here, but yeah, I will design with the LLM. So once I click on diagram builder and live preview, I got this screen here. And if I type here like school, or there is already school management, but I will try something new like conference. Yeah. And if I type conference, so it's gonna, you see it is loading preview. So it is using, taking help of LLM to create the diagram for the conference word. So you see it is created a diagram. If you go in the deeper, if we zoom in, you see it have conference entity which is linked with session, and session entity is linked with attendees, speaker, and registration. So whatever requirement I will type here, it's gonna generate the ER diagram based on my requirement. So I decided to go with the conference. And now if I add some query here, like there is already there is a first name, last name, biography, and email. So I will ask add date of birth to the speaker and press enter. So now it's going to use this query to interact with this diagram, and going to add those changes whatever I have requested here. So if you again zoom in and see, we got date of birth here based on my requested query. And on the left side, you see this is the source code of this diagram, and the format of this diagram is a mermaid diagram. So that is a format. This is a standard in WebWord to have mermaid format to represent a set of diagram, and ER diagram is one of them. And then we have there is few more options here. This is just for the history, to just backward forward with those changes whatever you requested here. And then we have expand and shrink this diagram. So what expand does, it is something like a autopilot mode. So when you click expand, the LLM will think about what can be expanded here. So if you don't have domain knowledge about some area, and you want to you want to experiment in that area and build an application or learn more about that, if I just click expand button here, so it will think what can be added to this diagram which is relevant to this domain. So you see this is automatically got expanded with more entities. So earlier we have conference, session, speaker, registration, right? And you see there are a few more entities like sponsor, venue, feedback. Even if we can compare with the history, in the history we see we got registration, attendees, speaker, session, conference. And if we again check what we got on the expanded, we got some set of new entities. And if I again click on expand button again, then it will expand just further. You see, this relationship getting bit complex as I expand it. My goal is not to make it complex, but to make it simple. But this is how kind of autopilot mode work, where you are not passing any information to LLM. LLM is giving you hint what can you add to your domain, to your existing design uh, in this diagram. So to generate the application, I will just go with the very simple way of my first one. Yeah, I can use this diagram to generate application. And here I just came back to my original screen. So the conference diagram is selected, and now I have option here to generate code for JPA, repository, REST, and web. And here I can define, customize the packaging naming. The actual packaging naming is here in the project configuration. That's the root packaging, and these are the sub packaging for these set of uh, specification. And in the security configuration, I can select if I want to use some set of security features. I will just go the vanilla way in this example and create the application. So I press generate button, and it says it is taking some time because behind the scene, it is again calling LLM to decide the relationship naming, and there are some set of AI operations are performing behind the scene, like deciding the content for web pages. Because this application is conference, so it is deciding the home page and about us page, the bootstrap icon for each entities, and some set of other information. So we got the application generated. I will extract it. Now I will uh, open in my IDE. Okay, I got it here, and here is the source code. Uh, I will I will open terminal, and I will start running the application. So I will run mvn install para server and dev mode. So this is the para server man plugin you can try out and directly start the para server in the maven lifecycle, and you can deploy the application directly from the maven build to the para server. You don't need to install uh, locally the para server. It will just download the server based on the version or the default version of the configuration in the pom.xml. So let's go to the source code. We have domain classes, which is JPA classes for all those entities. We have service classes for entity management, all those things. We have REST endpoint here for all those entities. Right. And and in the root directory, there is a conference mmd file, which is representing the diagram we have created. So you can use this file in future, and you can again extend this diagram in case you want to extend your application, or not just extending this diagram. This file actually represent the design of your system, so you will keep it and use in some kind of documentation uh, or in other important page. Yeah, so the application is yeah, so the application is ready. uh, it is available on main page. So you see, if you see this application, there is a home page, about us page, and all these page information text is relevant to conference, and it is actually generated by AI. And if you also observe these bootstrap icon, all these are relevant to specific entities, and all this designed by LLM. And so this source code is actually mix of LLM and archetype, the traditional archetype we use and the modern LLM. So it's not, the full application is not completely generated by LLM, neither by archetype. It is a mix of both feature. So we can create all those things as the CRUD application do. Right. So I will again go back to the console. And now there's a one more important feature in Paraserver Man plugin is that it comes with AI agent feature. So what AI agent, with the help of AI agent, you can interact with server. So what I will ask here, sorry, it got cancelled because I pressed Control C. I will restart it again. So what AI agent can help you, you can ask AI agent to learn about any as admin commands, or if you want to create connection pool of Oracle DB, you can just ask create JDBC connection pool for Oracle DB. So it's gonna help you. It's gonna generate the command that you can use to create uh, the connection pool, or or you can use you can use some to fetch some diagnostic related information, like the current uh, heap memory usage, or heap memory usage in percent, or thread pool usage, or any information you want to fetch, which is part of para server. And there are a set of domain commands, so you can use LLM will use those domain commands and fetch the information. uh, just for the configuration, there is a documentation for this plugin you can find in the doc.para.fish, and just select the 6 series version, and here in the ecosystem you will find under the project management tool, and then man plugin, then paraserver man plugin. And if you scroll down the paraserver man plugin, you will see AI agent. And to configure the AI agent, what I did, I just used the environment variable para AI API key. So I set this environment variable my OpenAI key, and by default it uses OpenAI provider, but then it supports multiple AI provider. Like you choose OpenAI or any custom OpenAI endpoint, whatever it is, or Google, Deep Infra, DeepSeek, Mistral, local LLM provider, so on. So by default, it uses OpenAI. If you don't provide any value, it will select OpenAI and GPT-4 or Mini. So I have provided just OpenAI key, and it uses all default values. You can customize whatever way you want, whatever the AI provider you want to connect. It's up to you. Right. Now I will again get back to the terminal, and I will ask create JDBC connection pool for Oracle DB. So the behind the scene, it gonna use it gonna take help of the commands. So you see, I got suggestion here. Uh, as admin, create JDBC connection pool, data source class name, Oracle data source, resource type, and I got some here dummy username, dummy password. So you can fill those information and create your JDBC connection pool. Or same, I can ask create JMS connection pool. Yeah, you see, I got another hint about the command to create the JMS connection pool. Or I can ask, show me, I will just show this part. Yeah, show me current memory usage. Now it will fetch the uh, current memory usage of the server in my system and then represent those information in plain English. You see, I got the information: used heap usage, the committed heap usage, max heap usage percentage, use non-heap size, and all those information. Like now, if I fetch pool, current thread pool info, so it gonna call those domain endpoints and fetch those information, then represent in plain vanilla English. So you see, I got information about the current thread pool usage and so on. I can ask different diagnostic information. These are very quick uh, requirement that I can call to server. There is separate diagnostic tool in the Para server that can be used to fetch a lot of information and do the actual diagnostic work. Yeah. So this is how you can use AI agent and fetch the different information, like fetching the current application information, then get in-depth detailing like session information of that particular application and so on. Okay, so this is about Para Starter and AI agent in Para Server Man plugin. And now I will use Jedict AI Assistant in IDE, and I can create a new application in IDE with the help of AI Assistant without writing actually single line of code. So so actually I like to work the way it's not just about not writing a single line of code, but using AI assistant to its full power. So it works with you uh, to create the application step by step. So let's see how it's gonna work. So I will create a new application. Uh, so let's create the application and say school management store for my property. Okay. In the meantime, the project is generating. I will show you how to install Jedict AI Assistant. You need to go Tools, Options. Sorry, you need to go Tools, Plugin, and then in the available plugins, you need to select Jedict AI Assistant. I already have installed Jedict AI Assistant, so I will search here. Yeah, so it is listed Jedict AI Assistant. And once this is installed, go to tools options to configure it. You see JDT assistant here, and here different providers like the AI agent in Para server man plugin. Here is also different provider you can choose based on your choice. So I have selected OpenAI, and here I have added my API key. Here you can choose model, and even if you choose something like GPT 4.1 mini model, these are very cheaper model. Like in a month, I'm not able to use $2 or $3 cost for this one. And there are many like in the Anthropic or different provider have some experimental model, so you just need a key and you can try out those things freely without paying any single penny. So by trying those experimental models, right? I will choose GPT 4.1 mini, and if you want to some in-depth setting, we want to control those things, like if you go through the LangChain for the documentation, you will find these settings. You can tweak those settings based on your requirement, but by default usually do not require to change those settings. Okay, okay, I will save. Let's see if I have, yeah, I will save these my settings. The project is created. Have one default endpoint. I will just delete. Okay, so now I will create one. I will first open the chat window. Here, you see on the top there is a AI assistant. I will open this window, and let me open the agenda of this tool. Yeah. So I will save my first my source code in the Git. I will initialize the Git, and I will commit my changes. Okay. So now this is the chat window where you can communicate with your AI provider by typing your requirement here in the bottom. So like I want to create a school management diagram, which I will just copy from here. So I want to create a school management diagram, and with the help of that diagram, I will generate the Jakarta application. So this AI assistant in Apache NetBeans support a different type of diagram. Like we have seen earlier in the para starter, it was a mermaid diagram. And now I will use plant UML diagram in Apache NetBeans IDE to create the school management. So here I just type plant UML diagram for school management, and I will send this message. So it is now generating the diagram. Yep, you see. I got one diagram here and with some description about this diagram, and what we got here. If you see, we have one school entity which is linked to course, and then course is linked to teacher, classroom, and student, right? And actually, I can edit this diagram with the source also. So we have one tab here, source and plant UML diagram. So in the source, if I type uh, instead of just name, if I type first name and last name, and again go back to the plant UML diagram, you see what changes I have done is now representing this diagram, first name and last name. Now, if I call another query like add play group to this diagram, so the first step I have done was creating the school management diagram. Second step I did was manually adding that to first name and last name. And the third step I did was asking LLM to add play group entity. So let's evaluate what we have got finally. So the first step was school management diagram. Second step was first name and last name. which I manually added in the source code. And the third step was I did to ask LLM to add the playgroup, which I got here in this diagram. So on, I can ask any query here uh, to further expand this diagram or add few attributes or whatever the domain knowledge you want to add here. You want to link with something with few more entities. You can just directly ask here, right? And for the enhanced diagram. So now this was just to create the diagram. Now I will create the application with the help of this diagram. So here uh, I will ask uh, first I will change the mode from ask to build. So it is now connected to the school management project, and I will change my model here to mini to 4.1. It's up to you. You want to generate with a mini, that's fine. And I will ask create Jakarta EE application for school management diagram. So it should create those source code directly in the project. And in the meantime, it is generating. Let me explore some other feature, like 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 I have used plant UML diagram for school management. There are different type of diagram you can use, uh, like show me example of. So yeah, in the meantime, the school management diagram application is generating. I asked some other type of diagram which you can visualize in the IDE. So I got some list of examples. Like you can design actually sequence diagram of your application, component diagram, deployment diagram, activity diagram, timing, use case diagram, state diagram, package diagram, object diagram, class diagram. Yeah. So so it means these are variety of diagram where LLM can help you to actually create this diagram, and you can just get the source code of this diagram. You can use the SVG. Like if I open in browser and I got SVG of the diagram. So let's get back to my app, my previous diagram where I asked to create uh, Jakarta application. But yeah, you can be more specific. Like you can ask uh, use create JPA repository REST endpoint or set of if you want to that only generate JPA, you can just ask create JPA and switch to the build mode. So it must be generating some source code. You see, for the school diagram, if we see the diagram, we will go back to the previous chat, and if you see the diagram here and compare the entity, we have classroom, which is here, we have course, which is here, playgroup, school, student, and teacher. Yeah, we got all those source code here. So you need to be very specific what you want to generate with the JPA or REST or the complete, even the complete application. You must mention that you want to JPA with with the entity producer and all those things. So it's gonna behave with that way. Okay. So now I will create one class. I'll just remove this source code and I will create one class, name it speaker. So let's see how AI works directly in the editor. So if I press enter, it's gonna suggest me some source code which is relevant to speaker class. So what I got in the suggestion, I got two attribute, name and topic. I just pressed enter and I got this line of snippet in that itself. So one thing was pressing enter and other thing is pressing control space. So I will get hint. Let me check what I have configured in the inline completion. I selected control alt space. You can switch to any option. So I will switch to control space. And now if I press control space, uh, I got it will get some suggestion from LLM what set of snippet can be used in the speaker class. So it is suggesting me to string some attributes. Yeah, it is suggesting me some set of attributes and all those things. So there are two possible ways to directly interact with LLM in the editor. One is directly pressing the enter key or using the uh, AI hints with control space, right? So let's talk about the context. The context we can provide LLM to interact with LLM and providing the context the way instead of getting the random source code from the LLM, we will guide LLM what need to be generated. So if I press enter, it is suggesting me some set of source code, but I am not actually guiding what need to be generated here. So if I if I just type one variable like string first name, and now if I press enter, so it will take hint of the existing variable and gonna suggest me last name. You see, it is suggesting me last name because it is taking the hint of from the first name, and based on the existing code, it is suggesting me the next possible code. That's the first way LLM itself understand what need to be generated based on the existing code. The other ways, I can guide LLM by just typing some comment like return full name, right? And if I press enter, it gonna take help of the comment and helping me uh, with another method based on this comment. Or I can just use javadoc help like return sort name. So like the javadoc or comment, it is helping me to create another function based on my javadoc. So, these are the way to interact with LLM. And so as of now, I just have written here sort comment or sort javadoc. What if you have a longer description and that you can reuse again and again? Actually, you can create your own code generator if you have some set of instructions that you want to use on a regular day-to-day basis. So like I will create one set of instructions in the tools options JDK assistant, and in the JDK assistant I will go to prompts, so you can create your prompts. So I will I have one uh, I will just delete it, and step by step I will create. So I will create one prompt, I will name it get set. And in the description, I will add create, getter, and setter. And if I save this one, uh, and if I type here get slash get set and press enter, it's gonna help me. Sorry, first I need it have already some getter and setter, so I will clean those things. Now I will ask get set. So we, so with this prompt, it gonna generate getter and setter because in the description I have given instructions to generate getter and setter. I can ask create getter setter default constructor has code equals and to string, right? Now if I again call this prompt, as of now this is generating just getter and setter. Now if I again call this prompt get set, so it's gonna generate all those source code based on my instructions. So what I asked default constructor getter and setter has code equal to string. So we got whatever I have requested, I got here. And that's not just enough. You have set of instructions that is fixed, right? Every time you are not going to change your prompt. You have just written and you're going to use on day-to-day basis. But what if you have to change your prompt instructions dynamically? So what you can do, I will create a few more attributes like personal email, official email. And now I will ask my prompt dynamically here in the editor itself that create getter and setter like this prompt too. But I will ask skip personal email. So now LLM will understand that I am requesting to create getter and setter and constructor to string hascode equals, but skip personal email. Don't use personal email for this prompt. Let's see if what it's gonna generate. Sometimes LLM also do error and they generate even I ask to skip it. But yeah, let's see. Most probably it will uh, do what I have instructed. So I instructed default constructor getter and setter has code equals and to string. As I asked to skip personal email, and you see we didn't get any personal email in getter and setter, or neither in has code, neither in equals, neither in to string. So all this code generation is skipped uh, the personal email as I requested, right? So this is how prompt works. With the prompts, you can create your own tools with the help of LLM and prompt. You can create your own code generator in the ID. Another thing is you can use prompt not just in editor, but you can transform your code with the help of prompt. So what I'm going to use, I clicked. So I'm going to use this prompt. I have one prompt which is REST, and what I have written in this prompt here, you are an API server that generates XRS RESTful resources. There are a lot of instructions here, like create CRUD operation, uh, add search functionality, add pagination, add sorting, proper uses of HTTP status code, JSON. So you can add any information you want to add. You can name this prompt whatever you want. You can delete this prompt. You can create any prompt you want the way you work. So I'm going to use this prompt to create a REST endpoint from this speaker, Pojo. So new file, other generate file using AI. Target file name is speaker resource.java. Source file is speaker prompt, rest. You want to add some dynamic information in the context. As of now, I'm going with the prompt way, without any extra context. So it's gonna generate the speaker resource restaurant point. Yeah. So I got the source code generated, uh, for transform from speaker to speaker resource. It have CRUD operation, search, and delete. So you see, I got one compilation error here, because there is no getter for personal email, and it assumed those things, uh, the getter and setter for personal email. So it's obvious I did this mistake intentional. So I will create a getter and setter. Yeah, I got personal email, getter and setter, and the compilation error is gone. Right. So we use prompt to transform this Pojo to restaurant point. Same you can use transformation with the help of AI and prompting, like generating the test cases. You can use AI assistant to get variable naming. Like if I press Control R here, uh, sorry, Control space for the first name. You see, I'm getting suggestion here. First name of speaker, or name, given name, speaker first name, so on. I can get the variable name suggestion from the AI, and similar for any function name. This is just a getter, but for any function name, if I press Control space on the function, it can help me to suggest the function name for these variable or function with the help of LLM. So you can just pick any name, or refresh this again and fetch new set of name for your function. And one more thing, you can use Git review, because every changes you do here can be reviewed by LLM. So there is a one option, AI Git diff code review. So what it does, it use your recent changes which is not committed, and it can use those changes and do the code review. So before you push your changes to your remote repository, you can locally do the code review. So it gonna use those changes, and gonna suggest you what can be improved with different labeling like warning, error, info. So I got list of suggestion, and if I click on any class, it gonna help me what changes, what improvement can be done in that class. So it is you see, it is suggesting me, because this code was overridden, it is suggesting me the application path changed from resource to API. Earlier it was resources, now it is changed to API. So it is suggesting me, giving me warning, information, or based on the usage. And other important thing is you can connect your database with the LLM provider. So with connecting your database with the LLM provider, you can ask. So the database schema is shared with the LLM provider, not the actual database uh, values with LLM. So because schema is shared, so it can help you to diagnostic the database, to do the diagnostics on the database, or you can create query like insert, delete, or remove any query. It can help you to generate those query directly in the AI assistant chat window. And as I have shown you, the OpenAI LLM provider, and I can connect it to the local LLM provider with the Olama. Let me open my command prompt here. Uh, so I have these two models, DeepSeek R1 1.5 billion and the latest one. So if I start with, so if I start DeepSeek R1 latest, and here in the setting, I will choose Olama, and here I will choose latest, and I will connect, save my setting, and now I will open chat window. So yeah, it is started. Write sample Java program. One thing you will notice that the local LLM provider may be slow in your system. Depends on the capacity of your system. So it's good to be have them in infra, which is sufficient to run bigger model, because I am running very small, this few billion parameter. But if you want capability like OpenAI or Gemini, uh, bigger model, so you need good good model which have high billion parameter, and you're gonna run those in some good local infra. Will not be will be difficult to run in your local environment. So that way you can use in your system without sharing the data. Yeah, so I got some information. You see, it is bit slow if I compare it with the other OpenAI product, because my device is not that powerful to run those model, but I still am able to connect with them. Yeah, that's from the AI tool for Jakarta EE. We discussed about Parastarter, AI agent in Parasorman plugin, and then we have a Jeric AI assistant. Thank you. Any query, please?
Thank you very much, Gaurav. So I hope everyone managed to follow over the last 55 minutes. So it was a very comprehensive demo, and like I said at the beginning, if you joined us throughout the presentation, if you need to revisit, check back on anything, you can come back to this link later, and the recording will be available, because there's been a lot of information. So thank you very much, Gaurav, for showing all of that to us. And we've got some follow-up links as well. So I did share the links to Jedict and to the Pyara starter in the chat. You can also see them on the screen right now as well. If you have any questions beyond this webinar, because we are now running out of time, but if you have any questions, please reach out to us at info@pyar.fish. You can also reach out to me or to Gaurav directly on LinkedIn. We are both on LinkedIn, so if you are there, then you can also reach out to us through that way, whichever you prefer. And I also wanted to share with you really quickly before we finish. I've mentioned that at the beginning that we are now we've announced 2 weeks ago, we've announced the virtual pair conference. So for some of you that have been following us and have been attending our events in the past, you would recognize that we are running virtual pair conference regularly. This is the 4th edition, I believe. And this time we will be focusing on our new product called Pyara Cube. So please do join us. It's a free virtual event. It's running next week on Tuesday. So there will be a lot of announcements being made, some demos as well, some great presentations. So head over to the registration page, which I have shared with you in the chat as well. I'm going to share it again here. So again, free to attend. It's in the afternoon European time. If you can't make it, you can still register and watch the presentations later. So I do encourage you to join because it's going to be a quite intense 4-hour long event. So not a couple of days like in the past. We would come back to that format as well, but this time, because it's summertime, we thought we'll shorten it up a little bit. But there's a lot of really interesting talks and demos coming, so please check it out. And if you think it's something for you, then register and join us next week. So I think that's all for today. So again, if you have any more questions beyond this, please let us know via our website, via email, or directly reach out to us on LinkedIn. And yeah, and I hope to see you possibly next week at the Virtual Pair Conference, or if not there, then at any of our future virtual or face-to-face events in the following weeks and months. Have a great rest of your day and see you later. And thank you very much again.